I've seen Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. I'm going to tell you what I thought about it. Hey everyone, I'm David Chen. I talk about movies, TV, tech, and the media. This video will contain no spoilers for Indy 5. If you are like me, your biggest question around this movie is it better than Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull? And is it a proper send-off for this beloved character? My answer to the question is kind of. I think Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny is a solid adventure film. You have memorable characters, you have a cool MacGuffin or artifact in this movie that does a cool thing. Most importantly, this movie takes some really big swings, like unexpected swings that I think are going to be really polarizing once people have a chance to see the movie. So there's a lot of good stuff in Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, and I overall had a pretty good time watching it. But I did have a couple of big issues. The biggest issue I have is I don't think the movie looks very good. Look, I did not love Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. I actually think that movie is pretty bad. But most of the badness comes at the script level. Regardless of how rough around the edges the story is, you still have one of the most talented filmmakers of all time making that movie. And on a basic level, what I am looking for in my movies these days is, did people go to a place and do a thing? That seems like a really low standard because it is. What I mean by that is, did people go to an actual physical location and shoot things on that location? So many movies these days rely so heavily on CG. And it's not like Crystal Skull didn't have CG, like that had tons of CG, but I still felt like at various times people went to a physical place and they did a thing. A lot of Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny looks like it was shot on the volume or on green screen, and it largely looks unconvincing and kind of muddy, and things are indistinguishable from each other. That's a huge bummer because going to a place and doing a thing, that's kind of core to what Indiana Jones is in my mind. And when you're watching Dial of Destiny and you're thinking to yourself, oh, that looks like it's from a green screen, you know, like it not only rips you out of the film, but it rips you out of what made this franchise good in the first place. On that note, a significant part of this movie involves flashbacks to a younger Dr. Jones. And I have to say that the younger Dr. Jones stuff did not look convincing at all. Like, I don't understand how de-aging technology seems to be getting worse as time goes on. But on top of that, Harrison Ford doesn't sound young. So the illusion just doesn't work at all in this movie, and I think it was a big miscalculation. Here's the bigger issue though. For all my problems with Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, it kind of left Indy in a pretty good place. He was getting married to Marion Ravenwood, and even though them riding off into the sunset at the end of Crusade probably would have been a better ending, I was like, okay, fine. I'm not a fan of how they got to this ending in Crystal Skull, but the fact that Indy has a happy ending is kind of nice. So for me, if you're going to bring Indiana Jones out of retirement and have him go on another adventure and all that stuff, you'd better have a more satisfying, beautiful, more interesting, better ending. And in my opinion, this movie does not justify the decision to bring Indiana Jones back. There's nothing in how this movie wraps the character up that makes me feel like, yes, this is the proper ending for the character. And for me, that is the movie's greatest problem. I will have more to say about this movie once it comes out and we can talk freely about spoilers. But for now, I think you should just know I thought Indiana Jones 4 was terrible material, executed pretty well, and Indiana Jones 5 is pretty decent material, executed not as well. It didn't tarnish my vision of who Indiana Jones is like Crystal Skull did. But it did make me feel like, why are we doing all this? What's the point of this? Is there any reason to do this other than that we have access to the IP and Harrison Ford is still alive? So it's not great, it's not terrible, it takes some big swings, and I am impressed by that. But if you're looking for that Indiana Jones magic that makes you feel like, yes, this is the perfect ending for this character, I don't think you're going to find it in this movie. I'm David Chen. I'll probably talk more about this movie after it comes out. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching.